Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our Vampire the Masquerade stream. I'm Ree, and these are the lovely group of people that will be joining me in this vampire game. To quickly have all of them introduce themselves and tell you what they're up to, I think this time we will start with Kira.
Hi, I am Kira858, and I'm playing Aiden, who's one of the few kindreds that's going the opposite end of the spectrum and not losing their humanity, but actually is trying to find humanity within themselves. That's me.
That's weakness. Next up, Sir Monolith.
I'm Sir Monolith. I'm playing Hank, the definitely not a vampire detective. And yeah, you can pretty much just find me here on Ree's channel, getting up to shenanigans. Once this show's over, I guess you'll have to see what pops up next. It's always kind of spinning a wheel to, throw a dart at and find out what the next game's going to be.
Next up, our lovely storyteller.
Hi, I'm Ari. I am here to guide these people through this game and also to throw chaos at them because that is my want in life.
All right, and I'm Ree. You can find me all over the internet at ReeRoles. You can discover more about the games that are coming up on the channel. But for now, I turn things over to our storyteller to explain what's going to be happening tonight.
It is a very balmy 77 degrees in the city of New Orleans. As kindred, you guys not too bothered by the heat or the humidity or the chance that it is possibly going to be raining outside. But tonight we will transition over to your guys's usual meeting spot of the coterie haven of the mall you guys have claimed as your own. You all are meeting at the post turn in your favorite room, to which has been uh, drawn off from the prying eyes of all the mortals enjoying their late evening meal. Um, and on the table for you guys tonight is the decision on how best to handle a couple of developments, including the final death of Ardashir's com companion Zimitzi. I turn it over to you guys.
Have any of you heard of this business, or which of our kind may be involved?
Aiden pauses for a second, dressed in his 95,000 Vanquish 2 suit made by Dormeil, high luxury brand. He looks towards the others, kind of tries to recap through his memory banks. And did we roll last time to see if we knew anything about this? I don't think we did, right?
That was how you found out it was a shell company.
That's how we found out it was. Okay. But outside of that, we don't know what kindred connections is next to it. So, yeah, so Ada would just shake his head softly while looking at Adrashir and says, besides the knowledge of it being a shell company, that's all I'm aware of it.
What kind of nasty business are these people into?
Is Amir here, storyteller?
Yes, Amir is standing near where the closed door is, kind of positioned himself if anybody enters. He's about to stop them if they do.
Yeah, have you discovered anything useful?
The shell company tied to another shell company tied to another shell company ad nauseum. Exhausted my resources trying to find anything.
Wonderful. Before I go and ask my sire for assistance, is there anything that either of you can do?
Well, this is dealing with corporations. I have some connections, some knowledge in the financial department. Perhaps I could be able to make some headway and see what traction I could find regarding this shell company. It's just this was off the top of my head, my knowledge of this company, but I could perhaps do some further digging to investigate what this company is about.
I'll
Three
do
dots
so.
in finance.
Yeah, I'll put my people on it, see what they can dig up. Maybe they can peel back some more layers of the onion. See where these shells eventually end up at. If they do actually end up at any kind of useful point.
Sounds like
Please do so.
a couple people are wanting to make some rolls. We'll start with Hank real quick. Hank, what are you having your group work look into?
Basically going and trying to track the going through peeling back the layers, right? Going from to see if they can find who these different take the companies that we're currently looking at, make notes about who's in charge and who they're owned by, and then basically keep going until they hit a dead end and they don't find any new bodies controlling or new ownership, that kind of thing. They're trying to get to the end of they're trying to get to the center of the onion.
Center of the onion. Would you like to use streetwise or politics?
Probably streetwise would be better.
Make me wits, streetwise, and do you have any contacts, influence that would be relevant?
No, I have Mala resources and herds, so none of that. So wits and streetwise. Not intelligence and streetwise. I would think that
I will allow you to use intelligence. Kira, you were going to look into a financial aspect, right?
Yes, use my financial skills to be able to detect the degree of this corporation.
Okay, so then it would be intelligence, finance, and do you have any relevant contacts?
Besides my Malawa, because my Malawa, of course, is the she's technically
she would not apply in this situation.
Gotcha. Okay.
She is not the fire in your hands. Yeah.
Okay.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 5 successes.
5 successes.
All right. I already have a crit, but I'm going to still power this one.
And you can use willpower if you would like to reroll some dice.
Much better. 4, 5. 6 successes with a crit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
mine was 5 with a crit. Just forgot to mention that.
Please mention those crits. For Hank, your employees start pulling as many records as they possibly can. Vesuvius appears to be headed by a man named Ronald McTaggart, who does have an office here in New Orleans. From there, it appears to go into another company. This one is an equity firm out of New York, called Global Management. And it is mostly a wealth corporation, but they do have entities such as portfolios they use, such as businesses. A lot of it appears to be rental properties. Um, and then from there, the paperwork gets a little murky, is where they are unable to really start to find anything because then the trails just kind of lead to companies that have either been absorbed by global management, have been defunct for a bit, or renamed, and it's a lot of red tape that they're no longer able to clear. Kira, with your intelligence and finance, are you looking? Apologies for my cat. Come on. This premium cat content that you can find only here at ReeRoles.
Hashtag only cats.
Hashtag only cats. For you, you're looking into the finances. For such a essentially a small printing company, they appear to have a lot of capital backing them. In addition to that warehouse, in the buffer zone between the kindred and werewolf populations, the downtown headquarters in New Orleans, they have a couple more printing firms scattered throughout Louisiana and into Arkansas and Mississippi.
Now, first of all, I'm presuming that they are, as a corporation, they are a public facing company. Is that correct?
It is a private company.
Oh, it's a private company. All right, so since I'm able to see they have a lot of capital backing them, am I able to locate who are the responsible individuals performing the primary injections of capital into that company?
It would be global management.
As a global management is
the same one that Hank found. They're the primary equity firm, but they appear to be putting a lot of money to them.
And are they private or public?
They are a public firm. They are located in New York City, New York. Their current CEO is a lady named Alice Rogers. She not only has this management company, but she deals with. I know you're trying to bite me. Please stop. She deals with this management company as well as other private equity firms.
And who are the largest share owners in this company, in the global management?
Several different banks, including the BlackRock Group and other big other investors.
Is there any connection with the BlackRock Group in terms of kindred connections or the global management by chance?
Just global management.
Okay, and global management, who do we know of that has like kindred connections ties with them? Do we know which clan or which or the particular individual? Sorry, go ahead.
You aren't able to get that information because it's out of New York.
Oh. Yeah, the only one that has connections with New York is sadly Ursa, who's not here. Who is not here. What about, is there any kindred connection with the BlackRock Group? Or no?
You're not looking into BlackRock. You rolled to look into Vesuvius.
Yes. So will I have to roll again to investigate the BlackRock? I can do that too.
If you would like, you're able to. Because they are not headquartered anywhere in New Orleans, you would need more successes.
Okay.
BlackRock, both in the game and just like in real life, BlackRock is a perfectly benevolent investing firm there to just look out for all your, needs and put your life in the right direction.
Yep.
Sure. They are entirely benevolent. Entirely. Okay, roll for BlackRock. Oh, 1, 2.
If anybody's watching this, I didn't say anything.
If anybody's watching this, I'm not thinking of
forehead.
I am not suicidal. So put that out there.
Yeah, I am not suicidal. If you see me showing up tomorrow with orange juice coming out my mouth, it wasn't me. Sorry.
We are entirely using everything in this podcast or everything in this stream is entirely fictional.
Mhm.
We do not represent anyone from either one of these corporations.
Yes, especially BlackRock.
And just so the our in-game overlords know, I have burned all of those classified files I had from the Clintonian Foundation.
Good, excellent, good.
Five successes.
For BlackRock,
Mhm.
they are a multinational investment corporation that has assets worth $10 trillion. They have 78 offices in 38 countries and clients in 100 companies.
Okay.
They are a major investment company and one of the leaders in that type of world. They are headquartered in New York City, and as of currently, their higher ups is a bit harder. I mean, not is a bit harder to find outside of the major list. If they do have kindred's ties, probably more along the Ventru. But as they are headquartered in New York, you're not exactly certain because you don't know any Ventru outside of Ursa who comes or Cedric who comes from New York.
Actually, technically I do, but she hates me. So
that's a risk you're willing to take.
Yes, that's the thing that I'm. You know what? I think it might be time. She's the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
She's the only. Yeah, I think she's the only Vitru I know. I mean, have we ever talked to the Vitru not Primogen member, council member? What's her name? Character.
Memento. I have to scroll up. She's up at the top. Elizabeth Pearson.
Yeah, Elizabeth Pearson. Have you ever talked to her?
You have not.
We'll either try. She's probably a bit too big. Have I ever heard my sire talk to her recently?
No.
Okay, so yeah, I guess the only goal then, or the only option then, is
she also, since you guys do live in the city, you know she deals with PR more than she deals with finance.
That's true. And we're aware of that she.
Yeah. She's the one most people call if there's been an incident because she's the one who tries and cleans it up.
I'm going to try to cross the aisle and see if I can attempt to make contact with Vanessa.
Are you calling her?
No. I'm going to ask a particular member of within the zoo to see if they can reach out to her to see if we can schedule a meeting.
High or low?
But you're rolling? Crap, you're pretty good. So it's a harder one to choose. I'm going to choose low.
Your person is going to go see what they can do.
Okay. Was that right? Did I get it right?
We shall see later. But that is the information you get. You do know that Vesuvius does have a headquarters here in New Orleans, which you guys are able to dig more into if you would like. But I will leave that decision to you while this poor zoo person is trying to reach out to a very cranky Ventru.
So yeah, of course, I would give all that information to Ardashir, excluding the meeting up with the enemy, because no one needs to know that I really have an enemy. But no, I think have I mentioned that to the have I mentioned that to the coterie that I have an enemy? I'm not sure. I don't think I did.
That's up to you.
I don't think so. Well, yeah. So I pretty much would tell them all the information that I've discovered, including me meeting up with Vanessa.
All right. Well, I'll have Amir continue to look into this company. For now, I will speak with my side to see what she would like to do about this situation.
I could do that.
Anything? Is there anything you two need?
No, if it's just since it's a company, I think we should be able to handle it. We'll be presenting more of a front of, well, in my case, the president, and Hank Price, the owner. So there shouldn't be any misconstrued circumstances of our arriving, per se. So we should be fine. Well, that's Hank. You could think of something.
No, I think we should try to avoid raising suspicion.
Mm-hmm. So approaching it from a business perspective would be the safest approach.
I haven't dealt much with large corporations, so I might have to take second seat on this one.
Not to worry.
Alright. I am going to leave, but I am going to do some flesh crafting to make myself more beautiful.
Head and roll it.
First, I have a whole bunch of dice. 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, okay, that's a crit, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 successes.
You certainly are able to do so.
Oh, you're so nice. I will move 2 from my physical attributes and I'll give myself stunning. That's
So
okay with
fancy.
you.
So fancy.
And then after that, I will return to my casino houseboat thing.
You are going to go speak to your Maula.
Indeed.
You find her in her more like her office area. Shahada appears to be deep in thought as she is looking through some of the items you had found at Amani's haven that you gave to her. She has the journals scattered out around the table. You can see she's leafing through stuff every once in a while, reaching over and taking like a little adhesive tab and sticking it in the margin of the book, like she's marking a spot as she's continuing. You do not see Thalia, her ghoul, anywhere. She appears to be alone today. The only person that is in the room is that giant black dog that is taking an absolute nap all across the floor.
Good evening.
Good evening, Ardashir. How are you tonight?
I'm fine, though I wish I had more pleasant news.
I trust you will deliver. Did you find anything else out?
It is apparent that it is the mortals or someone working with them. The younger ones were able to do some sort of search to identify some businesses that are apparently of import. They have been unable to find any important figures.
Well, I find this mortal world is very complicated now. Lots of things that like to hide. Have they had any successes?
None of note. Would you happen to know what mortal organizations would be confident enough to operate near the lupines?
Almost assuredly, if they're up to anything that bothers them, only the ones that are particularly stupid.
I do not understand how they were able to surprise her. She was not of your age, of course, but she was no weakling.
Amani was a very bright individual. Sadly, evidently, a little too absorbed in whatever she was investigating. I am currently trying to look through some of this. Her handwriting is not the most easy to decipher whenever she gets excited about finding stuff. But she was also younger than you.
Would you like me to bring the perpetrators here to you or deal with it more discreetly?
I trust you to handle it.
Faith in me does me a great honor.
Ardashir, have you had much contact with the local Tremere group at all?
I have not. Have they been causing a problem?
No, they're very quiet. That is causing me concern. Usually, they are very much more involved in some things than I would expect them to be, but here they are very quiet. I know Dr. Andrews has his hands full with the younger members of his clan, but it's very unusual.
Do you think they are involved?
A possibility. Amani has made a few references to artifacts going missing, as well as some interesting shenanigans going on. Again, it's hard for me to decipher her work, so it's taking me a little longer than I would appreciate, but if I find anything, I will definitely keep you updated.
Of course. There have been some strange, mystical, arcane symbols spread throughout the city. It was believed that it is involving the thin-blooded, but if it's possible that the Tremere may be involved, it may be of a greater concern.
That is what I am thinking. Most of the thin bloods that I have came across tend to keep to themselves. They try not to make a ripple and they try not to cause problems. Even in cities not aligned with the tower, they find more freedom, but they still tend to keep to themselves. This symbols popping all up over town is concerning, and I know I have asked a few people, including Miss Langtree, about it, which she is interesting.
If it turns out that the Tremere are involved, are we seeking to avoid a conflict with them?
The Thin Bloods or the Usurpers?
Both.
Preferably avoiding a confrontation with the Chantry, if possible, unless we have strong enough evidence Dr. Andrews is a very intelligent man, and I know that building is probably warded from the tips of its roof all the way down to the foundation. But if he is involved in any wrongdoing that is involved with the disappearance of one of our own and final death, and we can prove it, that is something for us to take to the council. Sadly, we would have to go through Miss Langtree, and I am still very curious how she got her role.
Would it not be better for us to divorce ourselves from the anarch movement entirely?
Ardashir, we are both very old. Diversing ourselves is an option, but in these nights it puts us in a dangerous position where we would not have allies if we need them. You have heard the fact that the so-called Second Inquisition roams the streets of New Orleans.
I have, but I've also heard rumors that the Inquisition exists because of the fools on both sides. The schism.
Yes, that did happen. It is still concerning, and I would like us to have some allies within the city who could help. If not give us a barrier, could at least offer assistance if we need them. After all, our unique skills are not subtle.
Of course, I will do what I can to maintain the status quo at least.
I don't like this one bit.
We are in agreement. Do you know anything about kindred who do not know they are kindred?
Are you speaking about your friend?
His situation is odd. At first I'd assumed it was some sort of Malkavian problem, perhaps diluted over time, but could be blood sorcery.
That's also a possibility. The embrace does have a unique effect on each one of us. Perhaps his embrace was traumatic and he's simply trying to will himself to think of his new life as something that it is not. A comfort of sorts.
Perhaps you are right.
Or perhaps his sire is a Malkavian and it is just something with the mirrors, and I am not going to bother to try and understand anything that goes on in their minds. It never leads anywhere good. And I do wish to avoid headaches.
Of course. Is there anything else that you need?
Not tonight. If perhaps we can get some information, it might make Thalia feel better. She has been quite distressed since her brother's passing.
Of course. Work as quickly as I can.
I appreciate that, Ardashir. Oh, I do happen to have a gift of sorts for you. But you see, she like pushes her notebook back and reaches into her drawer and hands you over a photograph. And the photograph is almost a tiny little carbon copy of the giant dog that is sprawled out over her floor. They had a new litter of puppies. I thought it was about time that you received one of your own.
I am beyond thankful. for your consideration. Sure that they are taken care of.
It will be a couple months before they're ready to come this way from Arkansas. It will take a little bit of time. They are still quite young, but I did tell Thalia to reserve one for you.
I will begin arrangements for their arrival as soon as possible.
We'll do so. I would suggest letting Thalia do most of the training. She is overly familiar with them, and she did train Salima to at least behave herself in the house.
It will be as you say.
Well, what are your plans for the rest of this evening?
We'll see if Amir has learned anything new. Ideally, begin searching for the culprit.
You said that printing press was near the woods?
Yes.
Let me reach out to a couple people. I'll see if I can dig up anything.
Of course. I will do what I can
course.
to avoid offending the werewolves.
Oh, absolutely. I have no intention of offending, poking, or prodding them, but if there is a place that has kept a kindred anywhere near their domain, I think they should at least be aware of it, in case it happens to be anything to do with whatever they are working upon. Keep the relationships friendly.
On that, we are in agreement.
Well, let me look through this. Let me know what they have discovered. And if it is anything that is best left outside of our boundaries, let me know and I'll pass that information along as well. The less we stick our nose too much into wolf business, I think is the best.
Of course.
You see she shuts the drawer, closes one notebook, puts it into a pile, grabs one of the other books and opens it. This is going to be a very long night.
I will do what I can.
Well, take care of yourself.
You as well.
And we will transition over to Aiden and Hank. Where exactly were you two off to?
So if I'm understanding correctly, we are scheduling a meeting with the New Orleans branch of the global management private equity firm, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You are able to get a meeting. Did you happen to say what you wanted the meeting to be about? Well, it wouldn't be with global management because they don't have a branch in New Orleans. It would be with Vesuvius.
Yes. So they're the one that has the branch in New Orleans. Okay, so yeah, we'll be having a scheduled meeting with them to look into possible investment and expansion opportunities. We could say that Hank's security protocols could be used as like a bit of a managed, like in terms of like bodyguards or something like that. Could be like a external security firm that's attached to the investment, and then I could also using my zoo corporations to give them some, and my recent charity debut that has taken the world by storm. Use that as a positive outlook for for their corporation. So a double fold impact while getting further information in between the scenes.
Cool.
That was the plan. That was the plan.
That was a plan. Okay, so
Mhm.
they are a printing company. So they deal
Mhm.
mostly with printed materials, such as billboards and newspapers and that sort of thing. You are able to schedule an appointment with a lady by the name of Kelly Duvall, who will be more than happy to talk to you.
Now, how? No, no matter what, I would be dressed to the nines because I get to put our best image forward. So, so yeah, I would be coming in with another. Is this the same night or a different night?
It would be the same night.
Okay, yeah, so I'd still be wearing the same suit. Yeah, and I guess we would. I'll wait for Hank outside of the printing press again. Well, dress in probably in my Porsche, the SUV. What was the Porsche? No, I think I would be doing the Porsche Panamera. Yeah,
The soccer mom Porsche.
yeah, the soccer ball Porsche.
Fuck.
The electric version to give a little extra oomph to it. Yeah, so I would drive up and wait for Hank to appear. No Baloo this time because we're not trying to scare anyone. But
I imagine Baloo is back at the zoo, happily laying, similar to Saliba, across the floor of your Maula's office, enjoying his life as a very pampered king of the jungle. And is
very pampered.
very pampered.
Yes.
He is very happy that the air condition is set at a comfortable level and that he is nowhere near anything that possibly could upset him from his current nap.
Yep.
Hank, when you separated off from Aiden and you were heading, did you make any stops?
I mean, aside from stopping by the agency to do my own investigation and maybe leverage some of my, whoever was available to help me dig through the corporate files and records, nothing really out of the ordinary.
On your way to meet up with Aiden, your car gets a little chilly.
Sorry about that. My car gets a little chilly. I should probably turn the AC off.
The car does not fix the chilliness within your car.
Interesting. Maybe I should turn the heater on. It's like chilly enough for me to be like, ooh.
It's noticeable.
Okay. All right. Well, it's all right. Turn the heater on. It's fine. It gets chilly sometimes.
And you're able to reach to Aiden where you see the familiar luxury mom SUV that is Aiden's vehicle. No Tiger this time.
Well, got to keep the upholstery, right? I imagine you'd have a special seat set up for it in the back if needed.
Oh yes, if we needed to, but at the same time, a tiger surrounded by paper may not be the best scenario because all those papers are getting ripped up. So we decided to go solo in this circumstance.
Unless you have a paper tiger.
Okay, a paper tiger. I guess that could work. But yeah, so you see Aiden waiting outside for Hank to appear.
All right. Well, I mean, Hank, he gets there. He's been turning. Does the heat seem to help at all, or does it just like have no effect?
After a while, you can feel the cold disappear.
Okay, I guess it was just chilly. Must have needed a. Does it set off any alarm bells for Hank? Like,
Roll me some wits and awareness. Let's see.
okay, let's see what we're. What do you have, Hank? What you thinking? What you thinking, buddy? Do you notice anything? He gets 4 successes.
Lingering within the cold as it starts to disappear is a familiar perfume.
How familiar? Can I pinpoint it, or is it like
It
seems-
is very similar to the one your wife used to wear.
That's strange. Must have. Hey, kind of mutters out loud while he's driving the car. It's like, somebody from the office must be playing pranks again. Must be that.
One of Luann's candles.
Oh, Luann. Yeah. Luann, maybe Luann put Boomhauser up to this, I bet. But I'll tell you what, we're going to have words when I get back.
Hey, never change. Never change.
Okay. I don't got time for this gosh darn nonsense.
But you guys are outside. You guys are outside of the Vesuvius printing company headquarters. For a building that has, as you both know, a lot of capital involved into it, it is a very small 2-story building that's kind of sandwiched in between a bunch of other little buildings in this area. The sign is lit. It does still appear to have an office staff inside. Looks like a couple people working a little later into the evening. Again, more cat content. Thank you, Chloe. And you guys are able to enter the building without any security seemingly anywhere in the area.
First thing, upon entering the location, I turn on heightened systems for hearing to see if I could be able to detect any conversations behind enemy lines.
Okay. Go ahead and make me your wits and awareness roll and add your aspects.
Yes.
Hank, are you doing anything?
Hank is Hank's playing it cool. He doesn't need to do anything out of the ordinary right now. We're walking into a perfectly normal business meeting. Aside from like normal kind of trying to maintain a sense of awareness for anything unusual. He doesn't have any, well, he also doesn't have any other special abilities to use with that in that regard. So, I mean, unless you want to use far reach and start making stuff fly around, but
You know, there's always a time and place for that.
it's true. There is.
Aiden, how many did you get?
A beautiful 7 successes.
7 successes.
Mhm.
You can hear a couple conversations from the other area. It does appear to be the couple security guards that you did not see appear they are discussing the local game that's going on about how much the team sucks, and they are very upset with how the defense is being played. There is a rather heated conversation. Some guy and looks like being on the phone, presumably speaking to his partner about some travel plans that he forgot to book some PTO time off, and he appears to be definitely going to be sleeping on the couch tonight.
Amateur hour. That's what I think Aiden literally says softly to himself, amateur hours when he hears that.
And that's basically what you were able to gather from just being down here. You do see looks like the receptionist kind of looks up at you guys as you guys enter the building. Yes. Hello.
Greetings. I am Aiden, and this is my comrade Hank. We are here for a meeting with Miss Duval, I believe.
Oh, right up that elevator. She will be meeting you. In up there. I will let her know that you're here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And
Man.
with sorry. Hope you
Wait,
guys
how
have.
does she look? How does she look?
She is an older woman, probably in her 50s. Very obviously, colored hair. That's colored into uh, a blonde color, sandy blonde color. Older lady, kind of like older office mom. She's sitting right here. She's just slightly obfuscated at this point in
I
time.
like he literally rose from the camera, just like what?
She's loafed because she's upset. I'm not letting her bite me on the hand.
Hmm.
Yes, here for re-rolls for cat content. Um, but yeah, definitely an older woman. Looks like she's got her bag all set. Looks like she's already packed up. She's ready to go. She was probably just waiting on you guys to come in before she headed out.
No worries. Do I see a ring on her finger by chance?
Yes, it is. Given how much money Aiden deals with, it is definitely a older ring. Looks like a family heirloom. Uh, that she used as an engagement ring, and you can see her wedding band as well with it. And she keeps, as she's waiting for you guys to like walk away, you can see she's like tapping her phone every once in a while because she's probably checking her time and looking for any messages.
Aiden's going to take out a rose from underneath the suit. Let's gently pull it out. It says, "Give it to your husband on the way home."
Oh, thank you. Thank you, honey. You have a wonderful evening, okay? Don't worry, Miss Duval's bark is worse than her bite.
I will keep that in mind. It'll make their way up.
As Hank's leaving, he says, "Nothing wrong with a little bite." Keeps going.
The brief confused noises before you can hear Aiden with your heightened senses still up, that she has called Miss Duval and let her know that her late night appointment has arrived. Before you can hear her chair push back and like her grabbing her bags and the like clack clack as she's like shutting down her computer.
Perfect. All right, and I guess we make our way up.
The elevator ride up is a little bumpy. It is again, this building does look to be a little old, so it isn't the elevator's probably not the best in shape. It has been inspected and has passed. There's the little certificate stuck up on the wall.
That could be forged. And I think upon the bumpiness in the elevator, I look towards Hank and whispers as softly as possible and say, "Something does not add up when it comes to this location."
Yeah, the building's probably a rental.
Keep an eye out just to be on the safe side. Could be a front.
Yeah, probably. These people. Yeah. Making signs, definitely untrustworthy.
All right, and then we hear the Avengers elevator music play before the door is open.
Before the doors open and 5 more guys step in around you. What's with all the sunglasses, guys? Isn't it nighttime?
I take out my shield from my suitcase.
Oh, big suitcase.
Right? That'd be hilarious.
Your bumpy ride ends at the second floor. And you see, as the doors open, Miss Duval, is waiting there for you. She has, kind of a darker blonde hair that's swept up into a bun. A pristine suit. Again, it does not look to be nearly as fashionable as it would be for the amount of money that this company gets in. But she's neatly dressed, neatly attired as you would expect any employee of a company would be.
Is she breathing?
Yes.
She is breathing.
Yeah, you can hear her breathing and her heart
Oh,
beating.
sorry. I will go. I would definitely. I should have rolled this a while ago, but I would definitely would be rousing the blood for making sure that's your life.
Yeah.
1 second for that. But luckily, I get that as advantage. Perfect. We're good.
I mean, she's breathing for now.
And breathing, I mean, we can fake breath when it comes to the breath of life. But if she was an amateur hour, you know, we could see if she if she decided to not turn that on. But okay, I will approach, and of course, as I gently approach, I said, "Miss Duvall, it's a pleasure to meet you. I am Aiden." And offers out her hand. His hand.
She will extend her hand so you can you guys can shake
As,
hands.
as the shake comes in, he does turns it and turns it to a small kiss on the front as a gentle thing, and then pulls it back.
Oh, it's very unusual for gentlemen to be interested in printing businesses, but I guess this world has a little bit of everything in it. I heard that you guys were interested in talking about some investment opportunities or perhaps advertising services. Sandra was a little unclear in her note that she sent me.
Yes, we were looking into multiple different avenues. If you mind, if if I could take a seat. Oh yeah, true. I forgot. I got my study look, so I got an extra 2 dots when I do my charisma check. So yes. I mean, of course, Aiden looking stunning as always will gesture towards the seat. Be like, is it right if I take a seat?
Oh, of course. Please come in instead. The office that she directs you to is her office because it's got her name plaque on it, and there's 2 seats, her desk, a seat. She's got looks like her degree is on the wall. There's a small bookshelf that looks like it's got like an assorted knickknacks on it. Little vases. Looks like some fake flowers in a vase. Other like little looks like a little kid's art project that is on there as well. Well, we can certainly talk about investments and everything else that you guys are wanting to do today. Um, first, where would you like to start?
First thing, with heightened senses around, do I hear any conversations on the second floor that sounds like could be intriguing, or is it still more? Go ahead.
No, we'll continue. We'll use your same successes from earlier. This floor outside of her is very quiet.
Interesting.
It appears when you guys scheduled this appointment, you guys are probably her last appointment for the night, and everybody else has gone home. She just stayed late to accommodate a possible new client.
No worries. Okay, so yeah, so Ada would take a seat and says, "Well, as you may be aware, I am the president of the New Orleans Zoo, and we were looking to do quite a few different avenues in investigation. Of course, my co-worker, my mate here, Hank, my friend, partner in crime, he has also different avenues he may be looking into. And Hank, if you would like to, I don't want to speak for you, so we wish to explain your interests."
Oh, well, you know, as the private eye business continues to expand, we need more advertising. You know, it can be hard to get the word out there, and you know, signage is a cost-effective way of doing that. I mean, word of mouth is always fantastic, but you know, there's a lot of folks out there that may need the services, but aren't always, you know, talking to the circles of people that they might hear about them.
Understandable. Have you ever done any sort of a advertising campaign before?
You know, I have not. That's why we were looking to talk. I personally was looking to speak to some professionals about it.
And you do private security?
Well, we do security, we do private investigations, a little bit, of this, a little bit of that. But you know, right now I would say the bulk of it tends to be investigative work. The security stuff is still just side thing that comes up from time to time.
I usually recommend to people who are starting their advertising campaigns with us. Printed material is always good. We do have other services that we can offer, including radio and even web based advertising as well. We are starting to branch over there as well because we see it as an opportunity for growth. So what I would recommend is definitely a web campaign. We could get a couple advertisements on the radios and other forms of media, as well as billboards along the prominent highways here in New Orleans. Are you looking to expand your business outside of New Orleans?
Well, probably eventually. I mean, right now the goal is to become, the preeminent business for this type of thing in New Orleans. But it is interesting. So y'all have good experiences with that advertising on the internet.
We have started. Mostly we are doing. If you've seen the Carson dealership, their advertising, we've been doing that online. We found great success. It seems like their used car business has actually gone up a couple percentage points. Of course, we just started last week, so we're waiting to see the full results. But it has appeared to be successful in the couple companies we have tested. Um, a lot of more people are, of course, moving away from printed material. Billboards are still helpful, but like newspaper ads and those sorts of things, they're not going nearly as far as a on your browser, or even uh listening to it on like your morning drive through the radio. Those still tend to be more effective than printed media.
So I would
Okay.
like to ask, uh, how long have you been stationed here in New Orleans by chance?
Oh, um, our first branch, we came in 20 years ago.
Hmm.
Of course, we were just dealing, of course, back then we were just dealing a lot more with printed media than we were with anything digital. Digitally, we have been trying stuff out in our other markets, in Arkansas, Mississippi. We're trying to see how it's going to be working here in New Orleans and Louisiana as a whole.
And your primary location is in New York, correct?
Yes, our headquarters are in New York. And then, of course, we do offer some businesses up there. Most of that is mostly local advertising, your local pizza place. We moved out of there because we've moved our branches over here as well because we're looking to expand into a different market.
I see. What is the possibility of perhaps providing an ad opportunity of the zoo, our zoo here, into the New York district per se? Is there a possible ad package we could look to be able to bring perhaps some tourist dollars from your home state, since you have such a strong presence there, to where we're located at?
We certainly could start to look into that. Usually, whenever we're doing a campaign like this, New York is a little far away. We would usually recommend at least the states that are a little closer to us: Arkansas, Mississippi, Texas, as those people are a little closer to be able to travel to our location. We can do ad campaigns in other big countries or bigger cities. Just um, it depends on how well that's going to work, just because New York is very far away from Louisiana.
Hmm, completely understandable. I just think that New York is definitely a great opportunity to be able to extract it to, because, as you stated, those are usually the go-to areas when it comes to tourists and advertising dollars. And so I won't thinking of doing something a bit outside of the box. New Orleans has so much to offer, and many other locations hear about it from time to time, but it's most commonly known around our neighboring states. But New York, with all those, wherever so many people flying in, I feel like that's a great way to see if they may be able to be attracted to our location and ultimately our zoo.
Well, I certainly can draw up a proposal package as well. I won't be able to do it tonight. I'll be able to start working on it tomorrow. Same way for you, Mr. Hank. I'll be able to work on that proposal tomorrow. I can give you some of our information just on general ballpark of what we're looking for expense wise. And of course, I'm guessing, the zoo probably has a PR department. If you happen to have a connection there, and I'll work with them. It's very rare that we actually work with an owner of a company that's such
Yes.
big.
Of course, as you'd imagine, I'm a bit busy when it comes to other fatalities. But if you wouldn't mind, I would love to talk with some of your larger figureheads, just to have a personal connection with that group and see if there's other opportunities we could talk with.
Well, I certainly can see what Mr. McTaggart's uh schedule looks like. I know he's been very busy here recently.
When would he be available by chance?
I'm not certain. I'd have to check with his secretary about his schedule.
No worries. Yeah, when you get when you're able to get his schedule, definitely feel free to give me a call, and we could definitely schedule a meeting from there.
Yes, I'll definitely forward that along as well. And you see, like, she's pulled her drawer open, and she's got a couple of files that she's pulled out with relevant information about the different packages that they offer for advertising. And you see that once she pulls a couple out, she's like writing like roughly a quote, like checking her computer to like make a quote. For Hank, of course, it's a little bit easier to do because he's focusing locally. Um, and then for the other one for New York, she's kind of like calculating things. You can see like she's got like a calculator on her desk where she's typing stuff as she's like scrolling just to see and writing down a reasonable amount for what roughly she's thinking it would be.
Also curious. Well, first question I had: When I shook her hand, especially when I kissed it, did she feel cold?
No, very
She
warm.
she was warm.
Yeah.
Ring,
Warm.
secondly, was there a ring finger on?
Yes, she's got a wedding band on.
Everyone's married up in here. Good God. Okay.
She's
it's not hard.
she's not a young woman. She's like in her late 30s, early 40s. Like
Hey,
she's got kid art on her dress thing.
Hey, I'm just saying, I'm trying to find a way to use my studying merit. I'm just like, let me get that coming in handy. I was like, okay. Literally, just, okay. Because, you got to see if we can put in the charms for it. But it's okay. It's okay. We at least got the meet again, so that's smooth. We can be able to talk with Robert Battagger. But she feels human. Could it be, maybe not. There's no way to be able to detect a ghoul, I'm guessing.
See, because ghouls can breathe, it's a little hole. Yeah, it'd be scry the soul would be the easiest way to determine it.
We don't have the specs for that. I gotta not to next season. I mean, I have all specs, but not to next season. Yeah. I don't think there's nothing much I can do. I mean, hey, it's up to you. Maybe you got something else, but I think the best we could do is getting that meeting with Ronald.
Hank, you got any way to tell anything about?
I mean, aside from my stellar personal insight and awareness, I don't have any. I wouldn't say I have any magical ways of discerning, anything further about her marital status.
not marital status. If she's like a ghoul or something like that. If you have any like special dead blood techniques to be able to detect if she has.
I mean,
aspects to her.
Hank wouldn't know because Hank doesn't know ghouls exist.
I'm about to say the one person who went with you does not believe that ghouls exist. Or that they are kindred.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I mean, I'm sure if somebody introduced it to me, he would probably just think it was some sort of weird like mind control thing. Like Manchurian candidates or something. Like he doesn't disbelieve in the existence of things that are outside the realm of like normal humans. He just hasn't encountered stuff that's made him believe in like stuff like vampires and werewolves and all of that. But a lot of that has to do with extremely good Camarilla propaganda.
Hey, they're doing their job, I guess. So they're doing their job. Yeah, I'm looking through all my character, well, everything in my character sheet. Yeah, there's no way I don't have any skills besides height assistance. Yeah, there's no skills I have that could like detect supernatural. I mean, I have the disciplines, like animalism. I have animalism. I have aspects, but I don't actually have the specific discipline to
What
detect those things.
what is your what do you have in animalism?
Oh, just bot familiars.
Oh, then yeah.
Yeah, because you need the other one actually, like Sister Beast, I think it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So next season.
Next season.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, she has made you guys each a little folder with her contact information slid into like a little card pocket. And then she has included both of the quotes. For Aiden, she has included the their contact that they would reach out to who does most of the stuff in New York. She has included that in with the contact information as well. And you see, as you guys have been like talking back and forth with her, she did write a note, check with Stephanie about Mr. McTaggart's schedule, and she sticks it on her monitor. But she hands you both the folders. Was there anything else I could assist with tonight?
No, it's been a pleasure. And they gesture towards the children's art on the floor, on the wall. It says, "Yeah, your kid has some serious talent."
Oh, she does. She wants to be an artist when she grows up, so I'm letting her use her talent for good. I have more at home. This was the one she did for me for Mother's Day.
Oh wow! Well, it definitely is on the right path, and I can see you doing printing services, already being a PR agent for her. I see.
Oh yes, yes. I'm always talking her up. My other daughter is not interested in arts. Much more of the sporty one. She plays a mean soccer game actually.
Well, perfect, perfect. Well, I look forward to seeing you and Robert McTaggart in our next meeting.
I will look forward to seeing you guys next time. I know Sandra should already be gone for the day, but as long as you take the elevator back down, you guys are welcome to leave. I know our building actually closes in a few moments.
What is up with that elevator by chance? It was a bit of a bumpy ride.
Oh, yeah, the building's old. It's shifted during a couple of hurricanes we've had, so
Are you
we're
looking to upgrade by chance?
Oh, that's Mr. McTaggart's decision, not mine. I do know we have a technician who's supposed to be out in a few days to look at it. Did you guys hear the clanging noise at all?
Yes, and that
Yeah.
had me a little concerned. I was like, I saw the building inspection was up to par, but that bumpy ride felt like I was at Six Flags, so I wasn't certain what was going on there.
Yeah, we're having the technician come out and look at it. That clanging just started the other day, so it's taken us a bit to get an appointment slot with them. Very very busy, oddly enough.
No worries. Well, again, I look forward to seeing you at our next meeting.
Well, you gentlemen have a wonderful night, and I'll see you hopefully in a few days. I just have to see what Mr. Taggart's schedule is.
Fantastic. It's a
Well,
pleasure.
thank you, ma'am. I look forward to it.
And as you two get back in the elevator to go down to the first floor, that is where we will go to break for tonight.
All right, we will be back in 15 minutes. So please stay tuned to see how this story wraps up. All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to our Vampire the Masquerade campaign. All right, take it away.
Well, as you guys have left the area, since I'm guessing you are going to be sharing your findings with Artish here, would it be safe to say you guys would be heading to the court?
Wait, with the court?
That Ardashir's casino.
Oh,
It's
gotcha.
called the court.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was actually called the court. Okay.
Fancy.
It's fancy. We do love a good
Sure.
riverboat casino.
Yeah, you would head back. Now, the quick question is, has the no animal signs been taken down?
I have another
Artichoke.
question.
Remember,
Not at the
remember
moment, no. Not at the
What?
moment, no.
What? You
Not
have
at the
a
moment.
dog coming along the way. I'm just saying, like you can't be
Let's
having
shoot it,
that.
I feel like Artisher's no animal rule does not apply for the Zabitsi who live there.
No. We would have to call that out there. I mean, like it has to be uniformity.
Yeah.
We
You,
support
you,
one
you,
another.
you,
I own it, so I make those.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, but yeah, I don't even know that the dog was coming in. I was just curious if that side was still up by chance with the new puppy coming along the way. But okay, it's fine, you know. But yeah, so I guess we will head to the court. Wait, we don't normally meet at the court. We normally meet in the mall. The mall, right?
no, normally meet at the mall, but you know the last place he was heading was the court.
Oh, gotcha.
Talk
Okay.
to his sire.
Okay. So yeah, we'll head over there and give him. Wait, when was the meeting scheduled for Robert McDonald, aka Robert McTaggart?
It hasn't been because it's still the same night.
Oh, because you have to check his schedule first before.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Okay.
And his secretary's not there for her to ask. It's after hours. She's not bothering her after hours.
Well, that's information right there, and that will at least give the impression that supposedly the secretary is not a ghoul then, if she's not there after hours, right?
Mm.
First of all, domination is only for folks who are older, who just wants to manipulate someone and someone who has, lower humanity in the chain. That is not how Ada goes. And Hank doesn't even think he's a kindred. So I mean,
I could try to sweet talk him, but it's not
Yeah.
going to be as
Yeah.
effective, especially since he has low charisma.
I think that
I
was
mean,
the reason.
Low. He has 2 points, right? So it's not the
That's
lowest.
average, right? Isn't that average? Yeah, that's average. Yeah, that's not bad.
But his persuasion is also, I guess, average because 2. So
Yeah, so you can get average. Yeah, average to chat. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Not special, but it's not like subpar by any means. So
he's not He's not super practiced.
mm-hmm.
He's not a manipulation aficionado.
Where domination would come into play. But it's okay. Yeah, so yeah, we'll head back in and give them the scoop that we're still waiting for a meeting. But and of course, tell them all about like how the building was super old and scratchy. It didn't have, for the amount of money that they were taking, it definitely appeared like a front. But there's no one there who seemed to have been, connected to the ties that we could be able to see. We gotta wait till we talk to the bigwigs.
Have any of your people encountered the Tremere recently?
Sorry, say that one more time.
Have any of your
Tremere?
people encountered the Tremere?
The Tremere. Did you say? Sorry, what's the question? Did we encounter the Tremere recently, or was that a question? Oh,
Yes.
Not to my knowledge, no. Did I hear anything from my sire about any type of Tremere interactions?
With her, no, other than she stays away from Dr. Andrews. Just out of habit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nothing to my knowledge, no. Where would the Tremere come into fray with this? We know there's possible thin blood interaction, but
I find it difficult to believe that the Thin Blood would be knowledgeable enough to do any of this on their own. It's possible that the Tremere are involved. They have been oddly quiet as of late.
What's the thin blood?
Dustborn.
What's that?
He gestures towards you.
It is believed.
I mean, Hank.
You are a Dustborn in a way, from my guess, my assumption.
It is believed. It is foretold, or rather, that at some point the blood would become too thin to make more of our kind. Those people who are on the threshold are considered thin-blooded.
What do you mean, those people?
Oh no.
Individuals whose blood is so weak that they are barely considered above the kind.
What kind? This is the role playing thing again. I apologize. I'm familiarizing myself. He takes notes.
Do not take note or write or inscribe on your devices any of this information.
Wow, you just gotta remember all of it.
I assure you, your memory is quite capable.
Okay, I'll play along. Steel trap.
Our kind has existed for millions of years before technology, and it will for millennia afterwards.
So if you believe that the Dustborn has allied with the Tremere, is there any proof to prove of this? To perhaps bring to the council?
No. Unfortunately, it is only theory. I do not know enough about blood sorcery, but I find it hard to believe that any mortals would be capable of killing one of my kind so easily. And these esoteric drawings remind me a bit of blood sorcery and thaumaturgy.
But they're so isolated. They don't have much interaction, especially recently, with the rest of kindred. Why would they be involved with all of this?
My sire once told me that the Avery Tower required something of the Tremere long before my birth, let alone my change. They were forbidden from creating creatures of stone that relied on our blood, on Zimitsi blood. It is possible that they are using the thin bloods to regain some of that knowledge, but I've heard their recent losses in Europe have been colossal.
So essentially, your clan is being targeted due to what you carry within yourself.
It is possible.
How many numbers do we know of in regards to the Tremere? Like, how large is their? We know that they have their own chantry, but are you aware of how many quote unquote members of Tremere is in New Orleans at the moment?
There's enough that they have their own council member.
Yeah, it's true. And Zamichi doesn't even have their own. So I mean, there's more Tremere than there is Zamichi. Well, the problem with the Tremere is they are a isolated vault. The best opportunity is to go through them if they're in connection with the Dustborn. It's most likely to conversate with the Dustborn and see if there's anyone that has had interactions with Tremere representatives.
I don't suppose either of you have the ability to arrange such a meeting.
I can arrange with a few party members. Let me see if I can make some contacts, and I'll get back to you. There was specifically one I wanted to talk to, who may have been around the time of Hank's arrival into our world. AKA episode 3, I think it was. So we didn't get a chance to. It was it 3? Or was it episode 2? It was the lady who had her own store. Oh yes, Deirdre has a vape store called Purple Haze.
Speaking of which, Hank, what do you recall from the night you were changed?
Right now, I actually can't remember most of that night because it's been so long.
You last time when we did a flashback involving Hank, you did remember the green-haired lady known as Mother.
I remember someone by the name of Mother, they called her. She had green hair. And it's a very strange individual. Had a bit of gravitas to her presence. But I guess that's why people were attracted to her.
Have you rolled a check to see if we heard of this Mother individual?
Sure. Intelligence and streetwise.
Ooh, okay. Well, that's just intelligence for me.
Can I do politics instead?
Oh yeah, with politics, yeah. Is there politics though?
No.
Oh, dang it. Well, okay.
You just don't like me. I want to rouse the blood.
Oh yeah, we can rouse technically. Okay.
Say, yeah, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Arouse it. Perfect. Okay, I don't get hungry. So you get to add 2 dice now to it, right?
Yep.
Perfect. Not just 1. Okay.
And you said streetwise.
Yep.
That is beautiful. That's 4, 5, 6. That's 7 successes with a crit. Everything was a success. That's what. Wow. 00999. That is okay.
You want the good news or the bad news first?
Sure. What's going on?
Choked to my food.
I got 6 successes.
That's nice.
But I got a crit. I got a crit on both hunger days.
Oh.
Nice. Nice.
Can't you? Oh wait, you can't re. Oh,
Nope.
No, you can't re-roll that. Oh, that's no good. That's no good.
Aiden, how many did you get?
7 with a regular crit. No bestial.
Okay. So for both of you, because you guys did barely pass the DC for that, which was a 6.
Barely. Ooh,
There have been whispers on the street amongst the kindred about a woman who has been amongst the Thin Bloods. They just call her Mother. Primarily, she sticks with the Thin Bloods. No one can ever give an accurate description of her, because it appears that nobody really wants to talk about her. But from the way that you guys have heard of it, it's almost been on almost a reverent terms that they speak of her.
wow.
Ardashir, for your messy crits, You're annoyed about all this thin blood nonsense.
That's always true.
It's always true. So you will, just anytime anybody's, talking about, anytime you're going to be thinking about anything thin blood related, you're going to lose 2 dice for the rest of the scene for your pool. And just for this scene.
Well, I definitely have a few individuals I can reach out to. Two contacts in particular. One was around the time that Hank was there, and then the other is the member of the council member. I think his name Andy. I think it is. Yeah, Andy. We are relatively close, so I can talk to her about a few things as well.
Well, if I leave them thin-blooded to you and your interest, we need to focus on figuring out who it is that is killing all kind. We need to make sure they are not able to spark a conflict with the Lupines.
And that would be the best bet. Well then, in that case, let me attempt to reach out to him and see if I can talk to him about this and see what's going on.
Very well.
Is Emir with you, Ardashir?
Yes. Yes. Always close enough.
Okay.
Yeah, so Aiden first is going to attempt to reach out, because he's talked to Andy a few times. That'll be the second contact. The first person you would contact with would be DeAndre.
Deirdre?
Deirdre, yeah.
You've never met Deirdre before. You just had her shop of the Purple Haze.
Okay.
Which would be the only place. Are you calling her or are you going to visit her?
Oh, going to visit her.
Okay. The shop appears as you get closer to it to be closed for the evening, with a sign that just says "Be back later."
Really? Do I, when Eternal Heights senses hearing, do I hear anything inside the establishment, or do they appear to be gone?
You are on a busy street with a lot of people moving about.
Oh, really? I can't put my ear towards the inside the building to see what's.
It doesn't just work on one ear.
Okay, how about I just close one ear and then isolate the other?
Okay, make me wits and awareness and edge aspects.
Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. All right, so that's a crit for 5 successes for crit.
You do not hear any movement inside.
Okay. All right, so she's not available at the moment. Okay, in that case, then I'll go ahead and send a text over to Andy to see if we could be able to meet up.
You get a text back that just says that she is busy tonight, that she's in a council meeting.
Good God. Crap. Did I hear any word back from the zoo individual who was supposed to meet up with the
Yes, you get a text message from them that says Vanessa would love to speak to you. The glee in possibly the way that she delivered the yes is enough to make your skin kind of crawl a little bit, that she is a little too interested.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Aiden's like, oh, it's so needy.
So disgusting. Okay. Okay.
Did Aiden go do this by himself?
I feel like he would have brought everybody with him if they wanted to go.
Yeah. If y'all wanna, I think Aiden will preface this by saying, this is a Vitru that doesn't really take too kind to me, but she may be the only avenue we have in terms of discovering the connection with the Vesuvius Incorporation. And so she is down for scheduling a meeting.
Does Ventru bother you?
She does not like me. And as much as I've tried to cross among the aisles, it's been slow, steady progress. So we shall see.
Is she old?
I am not aware. I usually try to keep my distance when I only approach her when I have a limited choice. But for you, as a fellow coterie mate, I'm willing to perform this action.
I mean, it's okay.
Like my
Aiden.
assistant.
It's okay if you don't see age, Aiden.
Ada just smiles and says, "Yes, if you would like to come along." She is a Vitru of high esteem. So,
Always
I
looking
would.
to meet more interesting people.
very well.
Storyteller, I would like to do some flesh crafting.
What are we flesh crafting?
Audashir is going to make himself look perfectly normal, but in a way that gives off kind of an uncanny valley vibes, to make this person very uncomfortable.
Uncanny Valley, how?
Like if
Like
you've ever
Anita?
seen a horror movie where everybody seems fine, but when you look at them long enough, you start to feel like it's too normal. Like it's something that is trying really hard to look normal, but isn't human. That kind of feeling. That Stepford Wives kind of creepy,
Like you're just
like
you're
too
just
perfect.
exactly. Yeah,
situation.
you're too perfect because humans have flaws, right? And so if everything is
Sure.
completely flawless, it's like what the fire truck.
You are able to do so. Just so you are aware that she is a kindred, so she might not be as off-putted by it as an assistant.
Depends on how old she is. Depends on how old she is.
You don't know how old she is.
It's fine. Would you like me to roll the dice? I have
Yes.
lots of dice for this.
Yes.
So many dice.
No need to test
Or
the
just
blood
use
too
dice for
much.
days.
Oh, it's only good news. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9 successes.
Noted. You are meeting at not at Vanessa's office. She has requested a meeting in a fashionable restaurant nearby.
Okay. In this circumstance, Ada will be appearing in a same suit because it's the same night, but he's going to appear in a Jaguar F-Type ZP edition, all black, matted, windows are tinted, very nice. Yeah, and I'm not sure if the others would take their own car or if they would ride with them. You know, he would park and wait for the others to appear if they don't ride together.
Ardashir is going to get his jacket, and he will make a point to not spend too much time with any individual person. so as not to raise any concerns or any worries with the mortals.
Noting.
Yeah, I'm still. Oh yeah, I would definitely will be having. Blessed Life will still be on.
Yeah.
I'm presuming, right? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Here, I'll roll for Bush of Life as well.
Okay, and yeah, I guess we making our way. Oh, wait, Hank, did you bless the life before or no?
Really for my thing. I don't know if I even need to.
Oh, that's true. You may not even need
Do you have lifelike?
Let me see. I do not have lifelike. I have day drinker, so I would have to do it.
Yeah, you would have to.
Lifelike. Otherwise I just look like a kind of weird human since I don't have fangs. So yeah, he'll blush. Let's see. Hank gets a little bit hungrier.
Hank, as you unconsciously rouse your blood to make yourself look a little bit more lifelike, that gnawing hunger comes back. That one that like sets your teeth on edge.
Oh.
Welcome to kindred life.
I feel like Hank's probably always sitting at hunger one, since he's not actively. I mean, he has his. Well, I guess he could be sitting. He does have a herd, so I guess he could be sitting at hunger 0 most of the time, since he's not unless he's expending the blood, like rousing it for stuff.
Yeah, the only really way to get to hunger 0 is to
kill someone. That's right. Okay, so he's always a hunger 1 then. So I'm hunger 2 then. I forgot that part. It's been so long.
It's been so long. This restaurant is called the Admiral. It is a very swanky restaurant in downtown New Orleans, away from the French Quarter, away from your guys' territory. It is sleek, modern, glass and steel. But you guys are able to pull up. It does have a valet service. So if you guys would like to drop the car off with valet, you are welcome to do so.
Before we get out of the car,
oh yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. Before we get out of whoever's car Hank came in, because he piggybacked. He's like, ooh, this place is fancy. Well, he brought some cologne that one of his colleagues gave him. So Hank's just kind of like hose himself down with some Sex Panther.
That is the name of the brand, the Sex Panther. Interesting. Okay.
If you know, you know.
Can I have a little anger frenzy for Toreador?
You're not a Toreador. You're fine.
I feel bad for whoever's the car guy is.
Just to note, if anybody is too close to Aiden, since you're the one who usually interacts with heightened senses, do not put on your sense of smell. You know already that this will overpower you.
Gotcha. Good to know. Good to know.
Hank's like, that's a little strong.
I think at that moment Aiden just slowly presses a button. You just hear the window roll down to kind of let the cologne get out the F type, because you know what, it's Jaguar F type to be smelling with this Axle like spray.
Well, this stuff gets in your bones.
Offended in Toreador.
I think my
somewhere every Toreador in the city has had a flinching moment.
Yep. Sneezing or flinching moment. I think even my high-end suit is just like the power of Christ compels you. Get that smell away from me. So yeah, so they would take out the keys and give it to the valet. Right here, please take care of it. We'll be back in a bit.
As you guys enter the building, this is a very elegant dining spot. A very high-end, one of the more exclusive restaurants. They are in the middle of dinner, winding down to their dinner service, so there's not nearly as many people as there would have been if you would have been here a couple hours earlier. But the tables, there's still people at the tables. Um, as you enter, um, a young man in a very nice suit does approach you guys. Miss Vanessa is waiting in the lounge over here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And he does lead you over into what is ostensibly the bar area. Vanessa has herself a table close enough to the bar where no one could really overhear you guys, but close enough that if you guys were to pull any kindred shenanery, it would be noticeable.
Mhm. So Aiden will slowly take a deep breath, even though he doesn't need to breathe, just from habit, especially upon seeing her face.
Describe what Vanessa looks like.
Oh, Vanessa. So Vanessa is blonde. She has sharp features. She's attractive. She probably has the stunny feet. Let's see. Oh, what would she look like? I'm thinking, you know what? Since we talked about her yesterday, it'd be like kind of like Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman. You know, in you know, Ari, if you know, you kind of had a discussion about the project. So that type of form. That
yeah.
that type of form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is sitting very nicely dressed in a deep blue dress with like a jacket over it. She has a cocktail in front of her that she is absolutely not touching. It is completely there for show. You can see she does have her phone on in her lap because she'll keep picking it up, checking like the time and putting it down. And the young man does walk you over to the table where she is sitting, and you see she kind of looks up. You are 3 minutes late.
Really? I did not think it was. He will take a look at his watch and says, "Oh, I guess must have been the traffic. My apologies."
And you bring friends.
Yes, this is Ardeshir and Hank. Hank, Ardeshir. This is Vanessa.
Pleasure.
Good evening.
What may I assist you with tonight?
Do you mind if we take a seat?
I have a table for the reason.
Aiden nods before slowly sliding inside. Is there a... I see she has a beverage there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there 2 cups there?
There's just the one
Just the one.
that she has absolutely not touched. It's sitting on the napkin it was placed in front of her near.
Ah, no. Is there a second? Is there a second glass on the table?
Mm-mm. There's just the one.
I think they would make a show. Give a clap on to bring forth a waiter and ask, "I would like among your top shelf wines available for here."
Of course. Would you gentlemen like anything either?
No, thank you.
Whiskey.
You see he is the waiter is a young woman about college age who scoots off to grab your drink.
Ardeshir will have a mirror stand to his left, so that way that part of the restaurant cannot see him.
Noted.
First of all, thank you for taking the time to grace us and for this meeting. We wanted to know if you had any possible information about a particular organization, specifically the Vesuvius Incorporated.
Are you asking me for a favor, Aiden?
No, I am making this request.
I do know about Vesuvius Incorporated. However, my knowledge comes at a price. A boon?
If it is of use to me and my teacher, payment can be arranged.
Shall we say, since this information is not common knowledge, Major Boone?
What is the information?
I like reassurances.
I do not believe in playing games like some of my younger cousins. Have it on my word, you will receive appropriate payment.
That's satisfactory. Vesuvius Incorporated, I am sure you guys know, is attached to Global Management, which is an investment firm, blah, la, 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 la. Paper trailing them is almost impossible unless you know exactly where to look, which is where my expertise comes in handy. Vesuvius Incorporated is nothing more than a shell company that is owned, and you will not find this information in the stock market. You will not find this information in any of the trade papers. Do you know about a little corporation? Well, not nearly as little. Shadowy, shall we say, called Pentex?
Ooh.
Hank wants to roll for knowledge and see if he knows.
You can roll. The DC for this is going to be at least a 7. Because of how Pentex operates in the 5th edition.
What's
Intelligence and
dice roll?
streetwise.
Can I use intelligence and finance? I mean, it's a corporation, right? Maybe?
It is a private corporation, so tracking it is very hard because of how Pentex operates in 5th edition. Is they basically do not exist on paper.
So I can't use finance.
No, because they operate.
That
in shell
sounds
companies.
medically accurate.
Can I use politics because I'm old?
I will permit politics. If you guys want to use
I
politics
use
instead,
resolve
you can use
because I'm
politics.
old.
No, you can use intelligence or wit.
Okay, politics at least have one.
Can't have nothing. Well, I'm gonna rouse the blood.
All right, Rob. Oh,
I know I
we
failed.
roused last time. We got to. Do we have to rouse every time, or is there?
It's
The
a
rouse just lasts
scene.
for the scene.
Oh, and this is a new scene.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Okay, all right. Risk it for the biscuit. Here we go. Yes, 9. Okay, I don't get hungry.
I got 8 with 2 crits.
Well, never mind. I don't need to roll. Go ahead, Hank.
I mean,
Ignore my rouse, even though I passed.
I was.
No, I'll be struggling. I have 1 dot in
I-
politics in some way.
I can
She
only
took
get.
finances from me. I thought it would be a finance roll.
I either needed multiple crits or I needed to have 1 crit and all of the rest pass because I only have 6 dice.
2 successes.
Ardashir, you have never heard of this corporation. Hank, you have heard of this corporation in a very unusual way. It is relating to a case you did probably about 5 years ago involving a activist who had reached out to you in search of basically finding more information about who was dumping toxic equipment or toxic materials into a local creek. You did not. The only reason you heard the name Pentex was when you were essentially escorted off the property of this company, and one of the wasn't the security guard, but it was one of the senior managers on the site. His badge said Pentex.
Okay. Okay. Hmm. And I'm guessing I had no call to try and look into it any further past that.
Anytime you tried to look into it, you ended up in red tape, quagmire.
Yeah,
Sure,
just too
okay.
much of a hassle. Too much of a hassle for the small potatoes
Yeah.
case I was working on.
From what you were able to gather, because you did get 2 crits on your roll, is that Pentex keeps its secrecy very seriously. And that they probably do not do anything directly.
Interesting. I mean, that would be a good way to do it.
You say this information out in public, or you keep it to your head?
Well, I'm thinking it. I want to know, like, what's Aiden find out, because we're all simultaneously kind of.
Yeah, I guess I should have go ahead and roll just to see.
Well, I thought you already rolled. I thought you got 8.
No.
No. I was
9 or something.
9 was on the rouse.
Oh, the rouse. Yeah,
Oh.
but yes.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Okay. Let me roll. Oh, okay. Well, here's the crit. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 8 successes with a crit.
Perfect. You have heard of them in a roundabout way. There have been whispers of this corporation funding the increase in drilling activity in the Gulf Coast. Of course,
have they been coming close to my zoo by chance, or no?
Drilling in the Gulf Coast is nowhere near Louisiana.
Oh, Gulf Coast.
No,
Gulf Coast.
Gulf Coast in the water.
Gulf Coast, guys.
Okay. They have been funding and also cleaning up one of the oil spills that happened a few years back. Anytime you've also looked into them, it has been that same quagmire of dead ends, trails, red tapes. They are abnormally difficult to find.
Hey, I got that continental zoo. You know what I mean? That crosses different state lines. I'm just saying. Like I said, they can be touching my properties. So Aiden nods. It says, I've heard of them before. Based upon a recent link in the Gulf Coast, I believe. Or oil spill.
Yes, they're very interested in drilling, money, finances, all sorts of interesting things. I guarantee you finding whoever's on that board is going to be almost impossible, because I don't know. I've only know that Vesuvius is wrapped up in them because they're wrapped up in global finance or global management. BlackRock is one of the bigger investors in that company, but if you look at all of the other little corporations and add them up, they're all shell companies. It seems to be how they like to operate, in the shadows and unseen. I wouldn't mess with them too much. They deal with things we're ill-equipped to deal with. Unless you want to go poke the dog's house and see if they'll give assistance.
I've already done so. Why would this organization have any interest in our kind?
It's a possibility. I have heard the greedier ones in our kind do become interestingly entangled with them, but that could be said for many different supernaturals.
Very well. I consider your information to be worthy. A boon has been awarded.
Be careful if you're poking them. are getting too wrapped up. Lest the lupines think you are in bed with them.
Considering recent events, I do not think that is something I will need to be concerned about.
Against this Pentec?
Hmm?
Does the Lupines have reservations against this Pentec? Is that what you're saying?
Rumor has it that they're one of their enemies of sorts. I don't know much about the group that works down here. I don't keep track of them. All I know is stay out of the bayou, stay out of their territory, which I'm very happy to do.
Aiden kind of gives a slight look towards Adrisher and like the statement of the enemies of our enemies is our friends type ordeal, but he keeps that to himself. He goes to mention that later, and then says, "Oh, very interesting."
I'm guessing that was all you needed from me?
What do you know about other missing people in the city?
People go missing every day.
But we, our people, typically do not.
Oh, depends. I assume you have heard about the grandparents go missing, but they're being drawn away by something I think that's bigger than any of us. Very rare are you gonna find someone that old still within the city kicking up sand, so to speak. There's a couple, but most of them have already disappeared. The younger ones are a little harder to track. You know how much the kids like to move about. It's harder to track them, particularly when this is like a destination for a vacation. For a lot of them, it's a little harder to track. Occasionally, one or two goes missing, but again, there's a lot of feds in this city, so it's hard to know who's taking whom. Anyone in particular?
I have word that a person close to me has left thanks to this Vesuvius or Vesuvian company.
Well, if they're messing with us, that's a bit unusual. They usually tend to avoid us unless there's something that we have that they want, which usually means money or influence in a particular area. If your friends left permanently, that's a little unusual. Unless they've got a working deal with someone else.
Unlikely.
Only person I could think to ask. Don't know how much you want to go into the woods would be to talk to Jackie.
This is a friend of yours.
No. One of the wolves. But if someone on our side of the fence is anywhere involved in their side of the fence, they'd probably be the first person to pick up on it.
Very well.
You see she reaches down and into her designer handbag and she pulls out a small note and a pen, like a small like notebook, and you see she jots a name and looks like an address down on it and rips it out to hand to Ardashir.
I will grant you an additional minor favor for this information.
How about you just don't mention my name?
Very well.
And the address, the name on it just says Jackie, and the address is a building that sits outside of city limits.
Is there anything else?
That's all I got.
Did the top shelf wine come back by chance?
Oh yes, no, that was delivered before she even started talking. You got your wine and the waitress was unsure who all wanted a glass and brought 4 glasses, with the bottle as well as Hank's whiskey.
Oh, wow.
So you all have had it.
Jesus
You've had it this
Christ.
this entire
Shelf.
time.
Please tell me at least it was a top tier whiskey.
Yes.
Okay, good.
No. Hank didn't specify, so the
Okay.
waitress knew that you wanted something top shelf. She gathered also probably top shelf. She was going off of intuition at that point.
Okay, just to be on the safe side, because I think Hank did reference that his salary wasn't as high as some of the other folks in the crew. Aiden will say that to put his whiskey on his tab, just on Aiden's tab, you'll safe side.
It's true. He only has resources 4, not 5.
Oh, you 4. You good then? You never mind. Aiden did not say that. Aiden, you can pay for your own thing. Wait, you were not 3? Oh, wait, no, it was Ursa who's 3. Was Ursa's 3? Ursa's 3, right?
I think Ursa's the poor.
Ursa's the 4. So yes, Aiden doesn't say that. Sorry, but Aiden, of course, will give a lovely to. Hey, he would make sure to take a sip of his drink while looking at Vanessa. Just be able to be like, I can enjoy this beverage. Delicious and nutritious.
It's a tasty beverage.
Tasty beverage.
The absolute blank look that she gives you. Is there anything else, gentlemen? I have a couple more meetings I need to get to tonight.
No. Yeah, well, at least not from my side. Anyone else have any questions?
Was all I needed.
Think of anything.
Well, it was a pleasure. I think this is the beginning, perhaps, of a fruitful relationship.
Absolutely not. You see she gets up, takes her bag, her phone, drapes her purse over her arm, and just makes the subtlest of motions, and you see like 5 people who were sitting nearby get up to follow her out.
Well, it wasn't so bad. At least we got some good endpoints.
I didn't want to hand that free information to her, but I've had run-ins with these people before. Not extensively, but the part about them being very difficult to track down is definitely true. They seem to be very good at drowning themselves in bureaucracy, getting like tracking down. I'm not surprised that I wasn't able to find anything helpful now in my searches earlier, because the last time I looked for these people, it was nothing but red tape that just stopped everything in its tracks.
Just to be on the safe side, Aiden is going to put on heightened senses, look around, especially since 5 people seem to have went along with her, and try to analyze if anyone who has stayed behind is paying attention to them or staring at them in their conversation, looking at them a bit too closely than they need to.
Are you doing vision?
Yeah, vision for this.
Okay, go ahead and roll it. Ardashir, you Amir leans down and just kind of whispers in your ear that Shahada had passed the information along.
All right.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 successes.
You do not see anybody who's watching you guys.
Okay. He would just keep that to himself just to make sure.
You're not that popular.
Oh no, I would have make sure no one is because you specifically say you wanted to wait for them to leave before you offer all this information.
Yeah.
So Aiden wanted to make sure that there wasn't any spies around, at least he could see while you were, chatting this out. So yeah, so that's why he just keeps it to himself. So therefore, there's no need to alarm you all that nobody is listening to us, well, that he could see anyway.
No need to be alarmed, everyone. Touch nothing. I am expert.
Let's make our exit.
Agreed. I don't want to be here. I can still smell her perfume. I don't want to be here much longer than I have to.
And Ardashir is going to bend over as if to kind of sneeze, and is going to begin returning the flaws to his face.
Able to do so. But as you guys head back out into the night, this is where we will end for tonight.
Oh, we got that. A good opportunity, and you end it appropriately. I'm proud. 10 out of 10 for our storyteller. Slow clap.
That's how we lost 60 XP.
I stand on business. But thank you to our wonderful storyteller for another excellent Vampire the Masquerade game. Please join us next week as we continue this wonderful adventure and see just what's going on with our werewolves and other creatures, apparently. But really quickly, these wonderful people will tell you what they're up to these days. We'll start with our storyteller.
Hi, I am Ari. I have seemingly just vanished from the internet at this point. I have a Twitter if anybody wants to follow that. It's at Small Shadow Snack. Snack is with 2 C's. I very rarely use it anymore. I also have a Blue Sky account at Aurelia Crane. I have never used that. I just have it because why not? But you can always catch me here, or if you want to check me elsewhere, I'm occasionally over at Kira's channel down below at the TTRPG on YouTube. So yeah, that's me.
All right, very eloquently put. Sir Monolith, your turn.
Yeah, so I'm at Sir Monolith, both on Twitter and Blue Sky. I guess it's nice to have accounts for things, even if you don't use them. But yeah, you can just find me here. Usually getting up to trouble, causing Ree trouble, causing Ari trouble. Perhaps we're all kind of just waiting for Ree to circle back to one of the long list of other older games that we have in the docket. We're not. It's kind of cool because it's like a mystery, right? We get to kind of guess and see what's going to happen next. So I'm interested to see where things go.
All right, next up, Kira.
Hi, so I'm Kira858. This has been an absolute blast. You can find all our TTRPG content on our YouTube channel, The Cookout TTRPGs, where we have a wide variety of TTRPG goodness. There will definitely be some shows coming up in the near future, and we'll keep an eye out for that. Outside of that, of course, for those who are unaware, I have started my own comic book company called Snowstorm Comics. We have released our first comic book series called Rise of the Nephilim, where you can be able to find the comic itself on our website at snowstormcomics.com. And that's me, as Aiden tries to find a way of not dealing with these werewolves if it's any ways possible.
All right, and last but certainly not least, it's my turn. You can find me on the Twitter at ReeRoles, where you can find more about what it is that we're doing over on our channel. And I assure you there will be more projects coming up soon. Some more adventures, some more stories to be told. Speaking of stories, if you like written words that are sometimes combined in ways that tell narratives, then I encourage you to go over to ReeRoles.com and check out my web serial, The Obsidian Kingdom, a story of a person being taken from our world and dropped into a fantasy one. It should be a lot of fun. And keep an eye out as more stories are coming out very soon. But I believe that is all that I have to say.
Sounds like fun.
One more thing, actually. If you go over to Mixstabber Studios, you can begin a new Vampire the Masquerade campaign called Kansas City, A Domain Divided, where I get to play a Giovanni trying to do his best to survive in a Camarilla and Sabat city. This would be a great opportunity to go ahead and catch up on those seasons. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and let these wonderful people go away for the evening. So before you check us out next week.